Howdy everybody, Badger here. Welcome back to What the Loathing. Go ahead and hop on the map and let's do some wandering around. Oh, we found somewhere new. The rescue mission. What's this? Gin blossoms. Gosh, a real life nun. Yes, I'm Sister Tabitha. I'm Badger Duty. What's with the cot? Well, what with the cow attacks and so on, I felt my faith would be better served by running the place at the clinic rather than just a church. I also sell medical supplies if you like your healing to go. Do you need any errands run or anything? Funny you should ask. I've been experimenting with healing the properties of a purple grass that grows near here, but I've run out. Would you mind picking some for me? It grows near a cave that makes an unusual humming sound. Oh, sure, I think I know the place you mean. No problem, I'll be right back. The pulpit had been pushed back against the wall. There's a haphazard stack of pews in the corner. Not yet, alright. Broken leg pill. The vibrator train upon the thing bleeds and you are play hot and cold with it until you find a weird looking crate hidden behind some rock. You fumble around the outside of the crate until you find the bit that makes the lid slide open when you push it. So I got 3 now. Vibrator punch card. It is a piece of thick paper with a few square holes punched in it. It looks like the one they used for the census back in the 90s. You find an abandoned crate with Fort All Dead stenciled on the side. Maybe the shippers decided this wasn't worth the effort considering. Let's open it up. You pry the lid off the crate and help yourself to the contents. Can't let taxpayer fund material go to waste after all. Military grade whiskey on a silver bullet. Now let's get back on trail, soldier. Sir, yes, sir. Welcome back. Were you able to find the humming cave in the purple grass? Yep, here you go. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Blessings upon you. Okay, apparently that was all I could do here. Alright, Europa, let's run around a little bit. Lazy Dude Ranch. Let's go to Lazy Dude Ranch. Needle. Looks like somebody been washing ferrets in this thing. Yuck! An old burnt crate. Guess it came with the property. Keep it open. The stuff inside is unburnt. That's a pretty good crate. Length of rope and a handful of nails. Whoa. Hey, like, howdy, I'm selling an herbal remedy. Care to buy? What kind of herbal remedy? The kind that are gifted to us by Gaia without any interference by human hand. So, weed. That's a derogatory term created by the man, but yeah, basically. Hey, groovy, thanks. Why not? Howdy. Hey, yeah, howdy, man. What's happening? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Oh, not much, man. We moved onto this little patch of land to grow crops, but then we decided it's more natural to just let Gaia grow whatever she wants, right? I bet that's a lot easier, too. Right on, man. Neat. Where'd you get that hat? Oh, this? A friend of mine made it. Man, I forget which one. What do you take for it? Well, I have been thinking of trying a new style, man. Maybe like one of those hats the army guys used to wear back in the day. Like a kind of an ironic statement, man. There's an old fort over yonder that way. I'll swap if you find one of those, man. Like this one, you mean? Nice, man, butter. It's like commerce, man, except natural. Can you dig it? Strange head that. More like a sack woven from red, gold, and green wool. It's like something out of a dream. Yeah, groovy. Howdy, I'm Badger. I'm Louise Lathrop. Why the long face, Louise? Gee, basically because I'm stuck here farming with a couple of dummies who don't know how to farm a dang thing, so they just let the weeds grow and call it natural. I'm so sick of eating dandelions I can scream. Why don't you leave? I haven't got any meat, or any other prospect, or anywhere to go. I mean, dandelions are terrible, but they're better than eating dirt. It is such a mess. How'd you get in this predicament? I headed west after graduating baking school and fell in with these two because they taught the big game about natural grains. Fool that I was, I didn't realize all they were really interested in was getting silly on local weed and not doing any work. So you're looking for work? Oh, gosh, yeah, desperately. The only trade I know is baking, though. Do you know somewhere that's hiring a baker? Heck, even unpaid would be better than this. If it comes from room and board, I just want to get out of here. I don't, sorry. Shucks. Well, if you hear anything, please let me know. Will do. A huge supply of unused fertilizer. Gary sniffed the air and looked around sideways. Gary. What these strange tough houses you two calling? They're called yurts. Oh. That's right, I gotta give it straight from here. Delicious Gary become more powerful. Powerful Gary. Big powerful Gary. Let's head back to Dirtwater. Let's do some wandering down there. Your booze sense alerts you to the presence of a rock. Confused, you move the rock, and sure enough, there's a bottle of booze behind it. You gain an item, cheap wine. Phew, you were afraid for a second that your booze sense had been replaced with some kind of rock sense. Alright. Let's do some wandering. Shaggy Dog Cave. Let's go there now. There's a plaque bolted to the cave wall here. A record of the events of the expedition to and into Shaggy Dog Cave, November 1887. A record by Jim Plackwright. Having acquired through various and sundry means a story which is interesting in its own right, but better saved for another time, a map purporting to lead to a large cache of jewels and ingots of precious metals hidden by the infamous highwayman and train robber Black Colt Jr. in the year before the Crows came home. I, Jim Plackwright, along with three compatriots, these being Nathaniel Wyman, Cyrus Howard, and Douglas Watts, set out to find Shaggy Dog Cave and the aforementioned treasure. Our equipment and provision consists of one cart and a horse to pull it, 4 additional horses to be ridden, 2 shovels, a spade, and a mining pick, a large coil of rope, 1 large basket of eggs, as well as an assortment of other travel provisions and cookware, my own collection of blank plaques and engraving tools, 1 large and shaggy dog, and a butt for. After traveling for 2.5 days to the south and east, we arrived at a small town named Dirtwater, the largest settlement in the vicinity of Shaggy Dog Cave. Leaving the dog to watch the horses, the 4 of us entered the local saloon and each ordered a beer, except Cy, who was satisfied with water. The barman provided a drink as requested and when withdrew a small wooden box from underneath the bar, asking if we cared to witness something real interesting. Considering that we still had quite a few hours left to travel, we politely declined and asked him if he knew the way to Shaggy Dog Cave. He replied that he had never been there personally, but gave us rough directions, which correlated nicely with the notes on our map. Upon leaving the saloon, we discovered to our dismay that some unknown villain had tampered with our wagon. Fortunately, the only surprise missing were the but-for and the entire basket of eggs, apart from one that Doug had concealed within a pocket for safekeeping. We also discovered that the dog had absconded with one of the horses, forcing Nate and Cy, after drawing a lot, to share. After acquiring a barrel of fresh water for the trip, as well as a replacement but-for, we headed out into the open desert. The sun shone down mercilessly upon us, though we took small solace in the fact that it would have been far more intolerable had we made the expedition during the summer months rather than November, in order to pass the time on the trip and resist becoming dazed from the heat and susceptible to the desert mirages. We had same stories of our youth, which I will not be retelling here for the reasons of length. However, I will relate to you 3 odd occurrences that happened to us during our trek through the desert. The first was 2 or 3 hours out of dirt water, when Nate noticed a glint of sunlight upon a metallic object partially buried in the sand. This was revealed to be a brass oil lamp of foreign design and manufacture, which fortuitously still contained a quantity of oil. Deciding this might come in handy, we stashed it in the wagon for other tools. Oh dear. Our next encounter was with a nomadic goblin tribesman who we discovered spoke excellent English. It inquired as to our destination, and we replied that we were looking for Shaggy Dog Cave, though we did not disclose the reason for our journey. The goblin confirmed that we were heading on the correct course, and mentioned that he had only a short time earlier witnessed a large and shaggy dog riding a horse in the same direction. We all agreed that this was an unusual sight indeed, and continued on our way. Sometime later, we encountered a large adobe hut accompanied by 2 identical-seeming old men with wild hair and long white beards. They invited us to take shelter from the heat, which we gratefully accepted, and introduced themselves as hermits. This struck me as peculiar, given that they were 2 of them, but I felt it would be rude to question them on that point. One of the hermits confirmed that we were near Shaggy Dog Cave, and the other hermit confirmed that what his brother said was true. They also commented that they had seen a large and shaggy dog riding a horse in that direction. We all agreed that this was an unusual sight indeed. The hermits refreshed our water supply in exchange for our but-for, and we continued on our way, excited to finally be nearing our goal. After 2 more hours, we finally arrived at Shaggy Dog Cave, carefully keeping our excitement in check, lest we becoming cautious. We unloaded our equipment and supplies from the wagon, and took a brief respite in the cool shade of the cave entrance. To celebrate our arrival, Doug unpocketed and shared the egg he had saved from our basket that had been stolen in dirt water. Once we were rested, we decided the time had come to explore the cave. Discovering that we had neglected to pack torches, lanterns, or any other light sources with which to illuminate the cave, we declared that it was indeed fortuitous that Nate had discovered the antique oil lamp during the travel. He gave the brass a quick shine and then lit the wick, and we were relieved to discover that it lit easily and provided a very adequate amount of light. As we headed into the cave, we were further encouraged by the fact that the floor was quite even and easy to traverse, and there were no side passages which might cause to become lost. Despite this, I resolved to hang a number of plaques to mark our progress through the cave and engrave them with the tale of our journey, such that others who discover the cave after us might be entertained and edified by our story. Soon we came to the end of the tunnel. While Nate, Ty, and Doug took turns with the excavation, I completed the last of the aforementioned plaques. It was a matter of perhaps an hour before a side shovel struck a wooden surface with a hollow noise, and we hauled a traditional style treasure chest out of the hole with great excitement. chest was locked with an ancient and rusting iron padlock, which we broke easily from a single swing of our pickaxe. We opened the lid slowly, and flickered light of the antique oil lamp shone brilliantly upon jewels of every color and shining ingots of precious metal. Just as promised by the legend of Black Coal Jr. joyous at our triumph, we loaded the chest into our wagon and began to journey home. Thank you for reading, and may your own endeavor be equally successful. Signed, Jim Blackwood. A hole, a completely empty one. You come down this whole way expecting you're going to get something cool, and there's nothing there. That's actually kind of funny. But now I am curious about the bartender in Dirtwater. Said he had a small box, asked if we wanted to see something. Let me go see if that's still the case. Such a long cave, Gary. Head back to Dirtwater. Howdy, Badger. Anything I do? Hey, Lord. There we go. Heard you had something interesting. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe my info too old. I found a note from some travelers that passed through here about 8 years ago. Oh yeah, that was the previous bartender. He had a little trick he used to offer to show people. It what got him fired eventually. That senator's wife wasn't amused. He rummaged around in the bar for a minute, then blew the dust off of a tiny piano about 9 inches tall. Here, you can keep the piano so long as you don't ask me about the trick. It's a miniature piano. It'd be the right side of a foot tall tickler of the ivory, but the winding key on the side seems to indicate that it plays up. The piano isn't playing right now. I want to turn it on. You wound up the crank and the piano starts tinkling merrily. Oh, cool. So I can carry piano music with me everywhere now. Cool. Let's do some wandering. Out in the middle of the desert, you find an abandoned minecart. It's sitting on a section of minecart track about 12 feet long, which starts nowhere in particular and ends even less of somewhere in particular. It's mostly full of plain old rocks, not even very interesting looking ones. However, if you left without searching it thoroughly, you just end up driving yourself crazy later with the thought that you might have missed something valuable. And so you spend a good half hour inspecting rocks and eventually find one that might be worth something. Howdy. Come on, where is it? There we go. Alright, let's do some more wandering. Found a new location, the silversmith's house. The sign says silver bullet making apparatus. Help yourself. Help yourself. The workbench has a little burner and crucible for melting silver things and some bullet mode. It seemed pretty straightforward. There's also a visor you can smash silver bullets into needles if you need to. What does a silver bullet actually do? It cows and other demonic creatures. Why not? Door is locked. We'll pick the lock. Let's go right on in. A spittoon. At least it looks like a spittoon, but it's next to the bed. It might actually be a bedpan. Let's investigate it. What, really? I mean, if it's just a spittoon, that's bad enough, but it might be a bedpan, and that would be way worse. I don't care. I feel like maybe you aren't getting what I'm saying. We're talking about an object that someone probably uses when they wake up in the middle of the night and can't be bothered to walk to the outhouse. And the best you can hope for is maybe they only use it to spit nighttime tobacco juice into, in which case it's only full of rancid congealed tobacco spit. I'm investigating it. Are you even listening to me, or are you just sort of skimming past the text? Bedpan. I'm pretty sure there's treasure in there and you aren't stopping me. Bedpan. Shut up, I'm investigating. Okay, fine, have it your own way, your own filthy, disgusting way. It turns out to probably not be a bedpan, but it's definitely a spittoon and it's definitely filled with rotten brown spit. Fish around in it. What is wrong with you? Bite me! Oh, good God. Okay, you plunge your hand in up to the wrist. It makes a gloop sound. And break the thin skin of congealing toxins that are previously keeping the dire smell in relative check. Now you are choking in a miasma of oily, bitter shotting. You know that feeling you get when you're about to puke? How you get that taste way back in the rear corner of your mouth, that metallic tang by the root of your tongue like you're sucking on a corroded oil penny? Just tell me what I find already. You found a filthy, slime-covered old brooch. Are you happy? I bet you're going to put it on whenever you watch it first. Maybe I will for that. The book contains like 90 copies of Johnny Tremon. There's something weird about it though. It's too neatly organized, like maybe the guy's hiding something. Search for secrets. He would tuck behind one of the books you find a small envelope filled with receipts. About half of them are from a shop called the Silver Platter. He was crooked. The silversmith was selling cheap fakes. Oh well. He's gone now and saw most of his customers. No sense in stirring our trouble at this point. You write down the location of the shop, might come in handy. Hit the road. Shelf looked pretty picked over. You find a couple of things look edible. Instant grit, plum pudding. There's a note on the shelf reading, I forgot the darn combination of that confounded thing. If you can open it, you're welcome to what's in it. Looks like a tricky one. Alright. Where is the silver plate? There we go. Howdy there, I'm Wandering Sally. Howdy Sally, I'm Badger. What's your line? Trading? I wander all around these lands just like it says on the label, and I buy a little here and sell a little there. Making my way. Care to see the wares? Sure thing. Oh, you know I had to get that. I gotta buy me some pants. Even more powerful Gary. In a devastated cornfield off the side of the trail, you see a similarly devastated scarecrow. Its shirt is untucked, its hat is knocked off, and don't even get me started on the stats of it, the ascot. Sigh wistfully and ride on. Can't do much without democracy. Howdy, what can I do for you? Well, do you have a menu? A menu? What are you talking about? Isn't this a walk-up style restaurant? What? No, I'm a silver plater. I plate things with silver, you know? Oh, I thought your sign was... Never mind. The man grinned, revealing a full set of silver-plated teeth. So, you need something plated? What are my options? He looked at you up and down. I could plate that hat if you're wearing. People with silver hats get more done, they say. This will enchant your hat to add 1 to your maximum action points. Maybe something else. I could plate your melee weapon while you're using it. It will do more damage that way. This will increase the damage to your equipment melee weapon by 3 or even more against creatures that are vulnerable to seer. I could plate your pistol. It will do more damage. What else can you plate? Don't think I can do much with what you got. A turnip? That sounds like an interesting challenge. Say, that's a fine looking tongue you got there. I can plate that for you. My actual tongue? The one in my head? Yep. Well, anything for a weird life. Go ahead and silver plate my tongue. Why not? Open wide. Yeah, possibly can. The process is extremely painful. Silver tongue. Your tongue is actual silver. We'll silver plate it, but you'll be able to convince people it's really silver. You ask him for a complete refund and he gets it to you. Cool. I wonder what the silver plated turnip does. But I ain't wasting all my meat to find out. Do some wandering. A circus? Well, this is a little weird. You didn't expect to find a circus all the way out here. There's basically nobody around for miles. There's a rodeo clown manning the ticket booth. Well, there hasn't actually been a rodeo since the cows came home, so I guess he's just a clown. Clowns? You are not liking painted man? This is creepy. When I was little, my uncle would give me nightmares with old stories about them. Yes, old story. Goblins are telling old story too. Evil painted man and evil fire cow. Far, far below, always to fighting, mini wars. Yeah, that's right. Supposedly rodeo clowns dress up like that because the first rodeos were reenactments of those battles, and it became a traditional thing. These men's just regular man being painted man from up here. Yeah, I know. Still creeps me out, though. As you approach, the clown puts on that basically cheerful facial expression that retail employees use when the last thing they want to do to deal with is the customer, but they're not allowed to say so. Welcome to Barnaby Bob's perfectly normal traveling circus sideshow, sir. How can I help you? I'd like to see the circus, please. Well, you came to the right place then, but if you want to get inside, you'll need a ticket. And presumably you can sell me one? Why, certainly I can. That's my job, after all. For you, sir, a ticket will cost 5,000 meters. Say what? Does it seem a bit high? I promise you, sir. That implies it's a real deal. Well, you got that right. Why is it so expensive? Well, now, this is no Ponduke little traveling circus. We've got rides, game, food, and an amazing demonstration of knife throwing skills by none other than Barnaby Bob himself. Tell me more about the rides. Well, I suppose I should say ride, but we haven't had a single grisly merry-go-round accident since we stopped turning it on. Tell me more about the game. Oh, we got tons of them. Does 3 count as tons? 3 are more like some. We've got some of them. Tell me about the food. We've got your favorites. Popcorn, sarsaparilla with the fancy new bottle caps, and get this. Did you hear about the new thing a fella invented, cotton candy? Yeah, I think I might have. Well, it's still patented, but we're pretty sure we figured out how it works. Mostly, more or less. Tell me about Barnaby Bob. Oh, the boss is a real master of nines, let me tell you. He does his amazing stunts where he gets a volunteer from the audience up on stage and throws knives at them. He never misses a target. Did you leave out the part where he puts an apple on their head or something? What? Oh, right, sure. You aren't doing a very good job telling me on this. Why, whatever do you mean? Never mind. First, you ask for an outrageous sum of meat, and then you describe your circus in terms that make it sound distinctly cut-rate. Well now, if you really expect me to pay that much, you'd be doing your best to make it sound like a magical paradise. On the other hand, if it really is as chintzy as you describe it, you'd be asking a price cheap enough to overcome poor words of mouth. Which leads me to the conclusion that for some reason you don't actually want to sell me a ticket. Clown starts to look nervous. Now, let's not jump to conclusion, friend. I'm just pulling your leg a bit, clowning around like we do. It's all in good fun. So the actual price is 500 meat. I could buy half a horse for that. Sure, but what are you going to do with half a horse? The circus is much more entertaining. Alright, let me just stamp your hand for re-entry. There you go. Enjoy the show. What about my partner? Partner, get him free. Thanks. As you enter the circus, the ticket booth clown shouts, "Welcome to Barnaby Bob, perfectly normal traveling circus. Sideshow, sir," in a loud enthusiastic voice. You stroll into the circus. Actually, I guess it's more of a carnival, but let's not split hairs, and find it almost entirely deserted. There aren't more than a dozen other patrons besides yourself. There are a bunch of clowns around, working at the booths and so on. More clowns than customers, which is a little unsettling. But at least the lines won't be very long. The merry-go-round has a dirty canvas tarred over it. Read the sign. The sign says condemned until further notice. We encourage anyone suffering from horse bites to consult a doctor. The clown is presumably selling tickets to the sideshow. Howdy, fella. Can I interest you in the wondrous and mysterious delight of the sideshows? What all do you have in there? Secrets, mystery, things too weird and disturbing to be witnessed by the light of day. Freaks? Not your freaks. Gosh. How much does it cost? For you, 300 meat. And for everyone else, 300 meat. Okay, I'm in. You won't be disappointed, and in the event that you are disappointed, no refund. He takes your meat and taps your hand. You listen to it. There you go. Enjoy. The sideshow tent is fairly large and packed with weird things to look at, like all good sideshows are. A few lanterns are hanging from the ceiling, casting flickering shadows around and making everything look even more eerie. A clown is hanging out in here, presumably to keep an eye on the exhibits. He grins and nods as you enter. Come on in, take your time, have a good look around. Just remember, no touching. Alright. These shelves are displaying a large collection of strange painted eggs. You see several shelves full of white eggs, each one painted with a unique pattern of colorful shapes. A small placard pinned to one of the shelves says, "Clown Eggs." In the circuit community, it is traditional for each clown to paint their chosen makeup pattern onto an eggshell. The clown eggs are archived for future reference to ensure that no one chooses a pattern that has already been used. It is considered extremely taboo to wear another clown's face. There must be the eggs for the clowns that work in the circus. You recognize a few of them, like the clown here in the sideshow tent and the ticket seller clown out front. Hey, step back please, no touching. Sorry. This mirror looked to be one of those weird bent mirrors that make you look all crazy. As if there wasn't enough crazy looking stuff around here. Look at yourself. The mirror somehow shows you what you look like in a clown makeup. Bloodshot eyes stare back at you from a pasty white face pattern with an odd pattern of red triangles. In the flickering light, it almost looks like he winked at you. This looks like to be one of those weird bent mirrors that make you look all crazy. Okay. The mirror makes you look really stretched out and thin. Your limbs twist and writhe like snakes as you move around. It's a bit unsettling and your muscles ache a little pathetically. Your reflection in the mirror is short and squished like folded up like an accordion. You spend a moment moving back and forth in front of the mirror, seeing how the image changes. It's kind of amusing. Based on its attitude, unique combining attentiveness and extreme boredom, you assume the clown job is to keep an eye on the sideshow. Howdy fella, welcome to the sideshow. Thanks, what you seeing here? Well, down to the left we have our collection of spooky warped mirrors. Right here we have an exhibit of clown eggs and pickled punks. And further down to the right, it's the freak show. Feel free to explore and I'll be right here if you have any questions. What's with those weird mirrors? Ain't they a riot? That's what they call an optical illusion, as I understand it. Has to do with the way the light reflects off them. I am 100% sure that what I saw can't be explained by the reflected light. No telling what you might see if you look too long. About these people? You mean the freaks? Ain't they a cream? The one with the giant eyeball head is my favorite. Nice quiet fella. If you have any questions about the other two, feel free to ask them personally. I wouldn't want to be telling tales out of school. Since the eye guy can't talk though, you can ask me about him if you want. Okay, what can you tell me about him? Not much, I'm afraid, to be honest. He joined us, about a year ago. Maybe a little less. Where did he come from? No idea. Weird, ain't it? You think fella looks like that, you'd read about him in all the papers, right? Well, yeah. Sure is mysterious. How did he get like that? Couldn't tell you. I bet you've got a theory at least. Well, maybe he saw something no human fella should ever see. Next question. What can you tell me about these eggs? That's a traditional clown thing. There are placards there next to them to explain in detail. Don't get too close, please. They're fragile. What are these things in the jar? That's what we in the business call pickled punks. A menagerie of strange and twisted creatures such as you've never been seen the like. Captured and preserved and on display for your entertainment and edification. That's how the boss says it. Are they real? That's where they come. These shelves are filled with jars, and the jars are filled with things. Weird looking things. You lean in a little closer to inspect the jars. They mostly contain malformed and or mutated animal pickled in formaldehyde. A 3-headed kitten, some kind of ferret or weasel with 8 legs, a twisted Mobius loop of snake without a head or tail. Weird, crazy stuff. One shelf seems devoted to huge grown pale grubs, like fat, featureless white worms the size of sweet potatoes. The one on the end is larger than the others and had shiny black eyes. Someone had painted his face in an apparent parody of a clown makeup. Yuck. Take a close look. The pasty white face had been painted with little blue triangles over and under the eyes. The creature had a long, thin slash of a mouth as well. An area around it had been painted with bright red lipstick. The black eyes flashed red as the thing suddenly thrashes in its jar, spinning to face you and stretching its mouth out, revealing rows of yellowish shark teeth. You throw it back with a cry of shock. Good. Ha! Got you pretty good there, buddy. Oh, what's this? What is that? Ha! It ain't a real critter. It's made of rubber and clay and doll parts and such. Got an electromagnet under the shelf to move it with. He takes the little push button and gives him out of his pocket to show you. Should have seen your face. You about jumped right out of your boots. This guy is a startling sight even for a circus freak show. His entire head is one enormous eyeball. As you look him over, he stares back at you, not that he has much choice. Hello there, I'm Badger. How's it going? Can you talk? Guess not. You move a little to the side and lean over the road to get a closer look at the guy. He's basically just what he seems to be at first glance, a guy with a giant eyeball for a head. You do notice two things though. First, he has an odd lump at the, well, what would you call the base of his skull if he had one? A sort of crumbled, fleshy mass the size of a fist. With a squint and some imagination, it almost looks like the crushed and shriveled vestigial remains of a human head. The second thing you notice is that his ankles are locked to the legs of his stool, and his legs of the stool are bolted to the floor. So, the circus gig, how do you like it? His hand slowly curled on the fist, and the knuckles turned white with tension. I see. I understand. I mean, do you blink? Or wink, I guess? I guess not. Okay, well, see you around. What was that other option? Were you born that way? Sorry, I got that pretty personal question. Do you blink? This man is neatly dressed, though his suit is a bit threadbare and out of fashion. He's smoking a pipe and leafing through a magazine. When you start to look at him, he nods amicably. Hello there, welcome to the sideshow. My name is Douglas. Hi, I'm Badger. Delighted to meet you. So, well, are you bad trying to think of a polite way to ask what's wrong with me? Yeah, you got me. Don't worry, Badger, I am in a sideshow after all. It's obvious and natural question. Wait a minute. You said that last bit without moving your lips. Are you a ventriloquist? Not at all. Allow me to demonstrate. He stands up and turns around. His back is the same as his front. That is, his suit has been tailored with two front sides, and he has another face on the back of his head with his hair cut and parted appropriately. Ta-da! And he sits back down, his knees and other joints crack and pop loudly as they reverse themselves. Douglas winced slightly, though certainly not as much as you'd expect. What in the... surprising, yes? A bit, yeah. How is that even possible? Douglas shrugs and holds the pipe up to the now back of his head, so his other face can take a puff. Are you, what's the phrase, Siamese twins? Not exactly. It is different to describe, I'm afraid. Two minds in one body, two faces. It would be closer to the truth to say two instances of the same mind, with, as you say, two faces. You're right, that doesn't make any sense at all. The other face chuckled, and Douglas holds the magazine behind his back. It took some getting used to, that much is quite certain. Were you born like this? I would rather not discuss how I came to be this way, if you don't mind. Okay, sorry. No apology necessary. Your knees must be erect. Surgery was necessary to permit them to bend in both directions. It sounds worse than it feels, I assure you. Why are you in the sideshow? With a regular suit and haircut, you could easily pass for normal. I have a contract. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot the clown making a gesture, but you didn't catch what it was. Douglas clears his throat. Plus, well, it's quite the life, you know. Free room and board, travel the world, and you meet such interesting people. I'll talk to you later, Douglas. There's a lady here with her head sticking out of a hole in a large metal box. She nods politely at you. Hello? Hello there, enjoying the carnival? Well, it's interesting. She smiles slightly. Yes, I'm sure it is. Can I ask you something? Certainly. What's your name? I'm Janet, and you? I'm Badger. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Badger. Why are you in a box? That's a rather personal question, isn't it? Oh, sorry. I'm only teasing, dear. Would you like to see inside? Sure. Janet whistles to signal the clown, and he moseys over. He unlocks the door to the front of the box and throws it open with a theatrical flourish. Inside, instead of Janet's body, you see a tangled, complicated assortment of glass tubes and pipes, ticking clockwork gears, and pumps, liquids of varied colors. Mostly red, slosh through the tubes. A large bellow near the top inflates, then begins to slowly deflate. What do you think? Some kind of trick, right? You're folded up behind a mirror in there or something. No trick? The clown chuckled and walked around the back of the box. He opened the hatch and waves as you thought it, then sauntered back to a place by the shelf. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. It's certainly educational, I imagine. The larger tank on the left of my stomach, if you'd like to see what I had for lunch. You watch the various liquids slosh around in their tanks and the pipe for a minute. Weird growth, but it is indeed educational. Anatomical learning. You know what makes a human being tick and how to stop one from ticking. Come to that. How did this happen? Were you in some kind of terrible accident? I'm sorry, but I can't talk about that. Of course, sorry, it must be painful memory. Her calm, composed face creeps into a very slight grimace and she shoots a sidelong glance at the clown. Yes. Well, it's nice to meet you, Janet. So long. Good luck, Badger. Ugh. Question? No. Interesting. There's a clown here selling a toy balloon. When he sees you, he has your attention, he smiles and waggles the balloon to touch you. Howdy there, fella. Interested in a toy balloon? How much are they? For you, just 30 meat. What color do you have? Oh, well, just take a look. Red. They're all red. How do you make them float like that? Why, there's nothing to it. Heck, they're all float around here. Of course. I'll take one. All right, then. Here you go. Anything else I can do for you? Can you tell me more about your circus? Really, it's more of a carnival, but let's not split hairs. What would you like to know? What are your traveling plans? The place you've set up kind of out of the way. What are your plans? Haven't decided yet. That's why we set down somewhere a bit more rural. Keep things relatively quiet while we scout around. Get the lay of the land and all. Where'd you travel from? Was your previous stop interesting? Oh, northwest-ish. It was a little hole in the ground kind of place. You wouldn't have heard of it, Is everyone working here, clown? Oh, it's traditional. When rodeo stopped being put on, the rodeo clown took other jobs at the circus and carnivals over the years. It just became the normal thing for carnies to be clowns. It's a community, you might say. Who's the Barnaby Bob guy? Oh, the boss is a real famous showman, though I'm not surprised you wouldn't have heard of him around here. Got an eye like a hawk, and he's a real whiz with those knives of his. Don't miss his show. It's a real highlight of the carnival. Okay, see you around, clown. Catch you later, alligator. It's red. Cotton Candy called the clown behind the food stand and then made the fruit noise with a slide whistle. Come try this just invented confectionery delight. Clown blows his slide whistle again as you approach. Fruit. Step right up, fella. Step up and try one of the world's newest candy sensations. What is it? Cotton candy, the finest in several senses of the word. Spun sugar created for a revolutionary new process. It's so light and sweet and fluffy, it's like eating butterfly dreams and kitten wishes. So, it isn't actually made of cotton? What? No, cotton is ingestible, no matter how much chocolate you cover it with. Found that out the hard way, did you? How do you make it? He pats a metal box with a wide funnel coming out of the top. This little machine right here. Can't tell you how it works, much as I'd like to brag, it's a trade secret. You invented it? Not as such. Couple dentists down south were the first one. Dentists, go figure. But after hearing about it, I managed to figure out how it works. Made a few improvements with my design, too. Now I'm really curious. Sorry, fella, those secrets in the box are for nobody's eyes but my own. I'll be happy to sell you some cotton candy, though. How much does it cost? Just 300 meat. I'll take one. Alright, that'll be 300 meat. Okay. The clown puts his slide whistle down on the counter, ducks underneath, and comes back up for a paper cone, which he holds in the mouth of the metal box. He pulls down a lever, and the machine makes a thin squill, such as glittering white spun sugar collects around the paper cone in a fluffy cloud. Here you go. Enjoy. Thanks. Alright, what did the cotton candy do for me? increases your speed. Cold drink, called the clown behind the food. Ice cold sarsaparilla in a bottle. Howdy, sir. Care to treat yourself to an ice cold soft drink? You said you're selling them in the bottles? That's right. Got new refangled crown cork bottle cap and all. What kind do you have? I got root beer, ginger beer, and sarsaparilla. How about cherry? Nope. How about energy drink? Nope. What kind do you have again? How about IT? Nope. How about vanilla? Nope. How about black cherry? Nope. How about pomegranate? Nope. How about orange? Nope. How about grape? Nope. How about orange cream? Rhubarb? Do you make the drinks yourself? If you're asking if we have a wagon dedicated to brewing and bottling 3 different kinds of soda than our traveling carnival, no. We stock up every food large house. How much are they? 205 meat, 205. Foot of deposit on the bottle. Okay, I'll take one. Root beer, ginger beer, or sarsaparilla? Give me a sarsaparilla. Red hot, called the clown behind the food stand. Red hot, foot long, 2 kinds of mustard. With also a small sign that said lost and found. The clown grinned and gestured at the little charcoal grill behind him. Howdy, sir. Interested in a foot-long sausage? What are they made of? What do you mean? They're pork. What else do you make a sausage out of? I wonder if you had a vegetarian option. Mister, this is a carnival, not an herbivore. You've been saving that one up, haven't you? For years. Thank you, sir. How much are they? 250 meat with your choice of condiments. What condiments? I got onion, pickle, relish, 3 kinds of mustard, and 2 kinds of ketchup. What kind of mustard? Brown, yellow, and blue. Blue mustard? Looks like I'm all out of blue. Sorry. 2 kinds of ketchup? Yep, got both ketchups and catsup. Okay, I'll take one. Thank you kindly. Here you go. Help yourself to the compliment. Clown sausage. A lot of moxie here. There's the kid here touching around with a sad look on his face. You okay, kid? Did you lose your parents? I lost my lucky bottle cap. You haven't seen it, have you, sir? No, but I'll keep an eye out. What's it look like? It's shiny still, and it's on a little chain. Okay, I'll see if I can find it. Weren't you on the other side of the midway just now? Nope. That's the other balloon guy. We just dress alike and use the same face paint. Can you fool you? I like to see the lost and found. Oh, sure, what you lose? The clown pulls a wooden box out from under the counter and looks inside. Appears you're in luck. This one yours? He put the box on the counter for you to see and turned back to a grill for one. Look inside. The box contained a tiny bottle cap on a little metal chain, a folding pocket knife, a white silk handkerchief, bottle of smelling salts. Yep, that's the one thing. No problem, sir. Hey, sir, did I find my lucky bottle cap? Is that the one? That's it. Thank you, sir. No problem, kid. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. We're going to go ahead and experience the rest of the circus in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see all of you later. Bye-bye now.